Hi Shreyash, welcome to this small conversation, interview, chit chat, whatever we want to call it. Thank you for taking out time and joining me today. Uh, Pleasure to host you. Uh,
Hello, sir.
you've been with us and we have been in touch. I think last year or so we've gotten busy and not been in regular touch, but over a period of time. Uh, for our listeners and viewers, Shreyas is currently pursuing his international business specialization in international business from MDI, and he's currently located in London, right? And that's where he's joining us from. Uh, Shreyas, you had a tough and long journey, right? Where you challenged yourself. You were one of the students which I remember who put in a lot of hard work and
Yep.
who was continuously questioning himself. He had a lot of questions. He had a lot of things going on in his mind. How was your overall CAT journey, and what is it that people should keep in mind when they're preparing for CAT, right? According to you, which are the most two or three most important things? Which would be a value addition to learners who are watching this video?
Correct. First of all, thank you for the warm welcome.
Mm.
And thank you for saying me that I was hardworking. It is really a great honor to get that from your favorite teacher. And coming to the CAT part, I would say patience is the key. First, I would say patience is the key because literally there are days when you will feel that this exam is not going to be cracked by me.
Hmm.
From the famous mock test series to even the smallest mock test series, you will feel demotivated in
Hmm.
everywhere,
Hmm.
and especially in verbal, because it is the most variable part in
Hmm.
the, I would say, in the
Ups and
complete
downs are
CAT prep.
guaranteed. In verbal VRC prep, you will have good section
Yes,
tests, bad section tests, good scores, bad scores. You'll have everything.
great, great. Yes, 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 seriously. And secondly, I would say focusing on the input part because there is a proper saying that keep on tracking your mock percentile, mock
Hmm.
scores, and people even teach you that you should track at least three last averages or five last averages.
Hmm.
I think these are unnecessary things.
Hmm.
These will just stress you out and you just focus on the input metrics. I think this is the best advice I can ever give,
Hmm.
even in life.
Hmm.
So that if you have to read five articles, just keep on reading five articles. Someday these things will click. So
Hmm.
focusing on more on the input part, on the process part,
Hmm.
rather than on the output part is the second advice. Uh, Last advice I would say is to keep on talking to mentors.
Hmm.
Like I talked to you when I was struggling in my verbal part, and you gave me the valuable advice. Sometimes you're not able to figure out what's the problem,
Hmm.
so other person who is experienced on that part will help you immensely in basically correcting your problem. So you should not be hesitant to reach out to mentors specifically who know you,
Hmm.
not to everyone,
At
because
times,
random people will give random advices.
yeah,
So
you will get lots of advice. I've actually just realized one thing in
yes,
a period of time. It's not even about the advice at times, right?
yep,
Because you know what you need to do. Deep down,
correct,
everyone knows what they should be doing.
correct, correct,
At times, you just needed to hear it from someone else,
yeah,
and you need that affirmation that keep
yes,
going, don't quit, don't leave it
correct,
in the
correct,
middle. You will reach there, right?
yeah,
Ultimately, I keep repeating VRC prep is a process. It is a
yeah,
process that you commit to. You read, you analyze, you practice, you do that daily, and that's it. We don't know when it is going to click. Till that time, you remain committed to the process. So that is the most important thing. So
correct,
students who've done that, who they've benefited from that, right? And in fact, it's your effort.
yep,
The fact is, the commitment to the process is the student's commitment. It is not the teacher's.
yes, yes,
The teacher is
yes,
just verbally articulating it. So your commitment to it, that is what matters. So great. That's those are actually some very relevant points, right? How has your experience been in
thank you, sir.
this experience of shifting from India to UK? How has it changed you as a person? This international exposure that you've gotten.
Okay, so basically, before I was just focusing, I have lived most part of my life in Indore,
Mm.
which is the cleanest city of India.
Mhm.
So my thinking process was
And this is the one
always,
thing that I will have to cut you short here. I
yeah,
live in Chandigarh, and Chandigarh has for long held that title, and then Indore snatched it away, being the cleanest city in India. But the thing is, a lot of people in Indore now, they've made this as tagline, right? They're really proud of the
Yeah,
fact that it is the
yeah.
cleanest city in India. That is always mentioned with Indore. So,
It is the best tagline. I
mm,
always say this on my interviews.
that it is the cleanest city in India.
Correct, correct.
Uh,
That's it. That is my starting line. Always.
uh, so then you stayed in Indore all your life, and then this chance
Yes.
opportunity to go outside.
Yeah. So basically, the most part, again, when I went to TCS for my work,
Mm,
so my work was mostly from home.
mm.
So, the experience part which was missing from my life, I would say
I think
that
COVID also
I,
had a huge role to play in that. A lot of people were stuck with work from home.
yeah,
In
yeah,
a way,
correct,
work from home is great, but it also stops your development. You don't get to
correct.
experience a lot of things.
Correct. Because even on the video calls, you will just talk about the work or maybe some chit chat and you will just hang up the call.
Exactly,
But
exactly.
when you are in offline environment, you will keep on talking about different things,
Mm.
and the work to other talk ratio is always very skewed towards the other talk in
Exactly,
offline setting.
exactly, exactly.
So I think that part, also the experience part, because as an Indian, we are mostly confined to our Indian market.
Hmm, hmm,
So what happens in Europe, what happens in other countries, how they actually think,
hmm,
because businesses are expanding, and you have to understand
hmm,
how each country thinks. Then
hmm,
only you will be able to expand to
hmm,
those countries or even talk to those clients. Even if you're not planning to expand,
hmm,
you have to deal with other clients from international domain.
hmm,
So I think for that part specifically, I considered this course, and it
hmm,
was very enriching, and I would say it was the most best decision I've ever taken,
hmm,
because uh, from the day I've come in here,
hmm,
my class consists of nationality of around 12 to 13 different countries. In
hmm,
a class of 45, you have 13 to 14 countries.
hmm,
I've even spoken to girls from China.
hmm. So,
So even we discussed, okay, what is their perception about India and all those things. So this all is very exciting, to be very honest. And you
there is,
are getting taught
there is,
by one of the best professors in the financial capital of the world in London.
hmm,
So that, I think the experience part is very amazing. You get to meet with very different people. You have to adapt to how they think, and
hmm,
you have to talk in their manner too,
hmm, hmm, hmm,
not in terms of I would say accent, but being polite,
hmm,
being in being basically considerate,
hmm.
and being empathetic
I think
about
it has
everyone.
the
So
gentle thing that when you experience so many cultures, right,
correct.
your communication skills need to improve.
Yep.
In itself, that is a requirement, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll not
Yeah.
be able to communicate. Everyone is
Yeah.
coming from a different background. You are not at the same level.
Sure. Yeah.
India, we take it for granted. We are all coming from
Yeah.
different backgrounds. We can communicate any which way. The other person will understand our
Yeah.
intention.
Yeah. Yeah.
There, you don't know. They don't know the tone, pitch of your voice.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Hmm.
So everything then
Correct.
becomes. There is almost a teaching moment in everything.
Yeah.
So there
Because
is immense learning.
very, very small example. I was once in class, and I was once opening a door, and I holded it for a girl.
Hmm,
She was coming.
hmm,
Normal cases in India, other will say oh, thank you, or maybe skip it,
hmm,
even for a boy
hmm,
when you hold. But it has been never a single instance when the other person has not told me thank you.
hmm.
It's a very small, very small
Small
things you will
cultural
keep
change.
on.
Yeah.
Yes,
So the
the
small.
cars will stop when
Hmm.
you are walking.
Exactly. That's something that we desperately, that's on a completely unrelated note to the content of this
Correct,
channel and video, right? But
correct.
that's something as Indians we need to learn, right?
Yeah,
So whenever
sure.
someone's passing by, anyone, if you are on a car and someone is on a cycle, you should stop. If you are on a cycle and someone's walking, you should stop, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Respect the person. So that is something that actually, as Indians, we need to learn. So that is
Yeah,
something we are pretty weak in.
as Indian, at least we can. I won't say copy them. We can at least try
Yeah,
to.
this is nothing to do with, in a way, nationalities. This is just a
Yeah.
culture, right? The way we do things.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not about comparisons. It's just a positive change that we can have in our
Hmm.
society, right? That's something
Really.
that we can do. Uh,
Yes.
so great. Shreyas, you did two courses with us. You did the VRC course and you did the PI course, right? With WordPandit. How was your experience with the two courses? What is it that you learned? And in general, how did the courses help you or change you?
Correct. So first, I took a VARC course. Coming to my background at that point, actually, I was really unconfident with the verbal part because as I'm an engineer and who doesn't like to actually read a book.
Hmm.
So if you give me a book
Hmm.
or a complex math problem, I will choose the complex math problem.
Hmm. Hmm.
My mind will always keep wandering on different thoughts when I will start reading a very long text.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that was my starting point.
Hmm.
And so many people advised keep on reading, but it was not helping.
Hmm.
I was reading and I was getting lost.
Hmm.
And again in the exam also, I was in the mock test also, I was actually started thinking about different section in the verbal section only.
Okay. Mind obviously goes away, races away to the next section when you're not liking it.
Yes. So, and the essays from the history, geography, and many parts of literature were just bouncing
Hmm.
very hard, actually. And my basically went on wandering.
Hmm.
So, that part was really difficult at that point.
Hmm.
And that's when I decided to go for a proper solid course, which will help me in the learning part more than on the technical part.
Hmm.
That's when I discovered you and went on with your free part that you used to post on your website.
Hmm.
So I kept on reading those articles until I was very convinced that yes, this is the
Hmm.
website I am going to give my money, because for logical and DI part I had not taken any coaching. I
Hmm.
was on my own.
Hmm. Hmm.
So for the English part, basically I went with you,
Hmm.
and I used to attend your live sessions, but yes, and maybe I would miss it.
Hmm.
But I one thing I made sure that whatever you used to post on the WhatsApp,
Hmm.
daily articles, daily reads, and daily I think sectional test, not
Daily
daily, but
RC, daily
yeah,
RC,
daily
daily
RC and
weekly
sectional test
section
and all
test.
those things.
Right.
So I used to make sure that I will finish each one of it.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So there was mostly 5 out of 7 days I would definitely finish it.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So
That's
that was
nice.
my commitment to the input part. I
Hmm.
used to religiously follow you. I have not referred to any source apart from you, I
Hmm.
would just say.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And the result has been such that you have made me from a very passive reader to an active reader.
Hmm.
How? You used to say that if you're reading a line,
Hmm.
think what will come after
Hmm.
that line.
Hmm.
So now my mind is not wandering.
Hmm.
My mind is trying to predict, okay, what can be the output? What can be the
Stay
after
within the
story of
context.
that?
Exactly. You stay
Yes,
within the context. You don't go outside of the article.
correct. Also, many other advices also, which also helped me. Like I still remember you used to say, cut the clutter part. There are fillers in the statement. Always focus on the main part. Trying to always keep on searching the main part, and then going to question.
Hmm.
And those advices really helped me
Hmm.
in basically eliminating the wrong options.
Hmm.
So this was my journey with the VARC part, and it
Hmm.
has really helped me.
Hmm.
Basically what it gave me, that now even if I'm solving 3 RCs out of 4 or 5, I was very confident that they all were right.
Hmm. Hmm.
That was the major change which I saw. Earlier I will solve 5 out of 5,
Hmm.
and if you will ask me how many are you sure, I will say maybe one.
Hmm. That's okay. That's positive development over
So
a period of time.
yes,
But you
even
did
in
put in a lot of hard work. So then one thing is you've got to put in the work.
yeah,
At the end of the day, if you don't put in the work, no course can help you. Any course in the world is ineffective unless and until you take it up seriously. Because
correct,
that's what
correct.
most people do. I think buying an online course is super easy. It's easier than buying
Offline course,
offline course. Going and enrolling in a coaching institute it requires far more effort. Online, it's easier
correct.
to buy. A lot of people
Hmm.
buy the courses and they never log in also again. So that is pretty ineffectual, right? And then it
Yeah,
does not happen. Then you say the course is not good or any such reason, right? At the end of the day, any course in the world, you have to commit to it. Only then can you improve. That is
Correct.
important. Great. So the
And
second part, the PI course.
yeah, that was my favorite, to be
Hmm.
very honest, because that's when we had the largest conversation. So I remember I am very verbose. You
Hmm.
can basically see right now also. So I have great stories from my schooling part to my work ex part.
Hmm.
So it was very difficult for me to formulate each and every point very effectively.
Hmm.
I will just say I have given one interview,
Hmm.
and my tell me about yourself was around for 5 minutes.
Hmm. Hmm.
The interview was like half of the time you have eaten.
Hmm.
Now, what should I ask you next? The
Exactly.
total time of the interview was 10 minutes, and
Hmm.
5 minutes was my tell me about yourself. And it created a very wrong impression about me.
Hmm. Right.
And that's when we discussed, and we actually went in with various approaches, which you suggested about, like giving in teaser, and then how much to hide and how much you have to convey about yourself. And those tips and tricks are really invaluable.
Hmm.
I'm seriously telling you, because even right now I'm using it, and even currently I'm giving those tips and tricks to my peers here at MDI, and they are even using it for summer placements and final placements.
Hmm.
So those are really invaluable.
Yeah, that is important, right? It's a journey in self-exploration.
Yes,
Verbosity was your issue. That you were a
correct,
really
correct,
verbose student that we had
correct.
cut out a lot of the clutter. And but then that again came naturally to you. It's not
Yeah,
that it is a weakness per se. It is just
yeah,
who you are as a person. But we were able to streamline that and we were able to, but that happens with discussions.
yes,
You talk
yes,
to
yes, yes.
person, and that cannot happen in a single day.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
takes it
Definitely.
takes a few interviews, a few discussions, and then you begin to make an impact that this is how
Correct,
I want
correct.
to change. Right? Slowly and steadily you make that change, you make that progress.
So
Great.
basically, good thing was you gave me 5 opportunities
Hmm.
for those interviews, and we had Zoom recording for every interview. And you used to say, "Watch your interview, improve, and come."
Hmm.
And
Very
that
important to
really,
watch. It's very
uh,
important. Actually,
yes,
funny thing is, even during this conversation,
yes,
when we watch the recording for this conversation, we would realize that we could have said 10 things in a much better manner.
correct,
Right? And you
correct.
only, about yourself also, you only get to know that when you watch the recording. If you don't watch the recording,
Mhm,
you don't, because our assumption is, in a way, the human ear is almost, when we say something, it's
mhm.
actually not really listening what I'm saying, right? It's only when you listen to it later you realize, oh, this is what I said. This is what
Yeah,
I meant. I should have said this and not this, right? So by
yes.
speaking, at times we lose consciousness of the fact. So that is
Mhm.
only after watching the recording we almost self-correct. So that's why it's very important to evaluate what you've said.
Seriously. And even the after talk,
Hmm.
you know, there is a part when you will start the interview, then
Hmm.
you will keep on discussing each and every point, what was going on my mind and how I answered.
Hmm.
And then those points actually help me to reflect upon my answers,
Hmm.
and then use those answers again,
Hmm.
and use those techniques again.
I think more than
So
techniques, in general, my philosophy stays is very simple, that you've got to help a person self-explore, right?
yeah,
Till the time you understand yourself, right, there is nothing in the world that can be taught as such in the personal interview setting, right? It has to be you. So you have to
mm,
realize, you can make the person aware that you are doing this and this could be done. But at the end of the day, you commit to that again. It's a process thing. So you commit to the
correct, correct.
process, figure out your mistakes and iron them out. But this is definitely a thing in which you need two-way communication. It's
Hmm,
very difficult to improve on those skills alone, right? And this is not,
correct,
I'm not saying this from my own vested interest since I run a course for it, but this is one area where you actually need to have conversations with people. Otherwise, you will just keep playing it in
hmm,
your head without any actual improvement. So that is something which is
correct.
required there. So great, Shreyas. So great to have you here. Great to share your experiences and your what you've gone through, what you've experienced. We'll be sharing this with our audience. So it's absolutely terrific having you. Going forward, wishing you the absolute best.
Thank you, sir.
You're currently still undergoing your program. So wishing you the absolute best for its completion and hope you get placed at a wonderful place, right?
Thank you, sir.
Once you get settled, then we'll have another conversation and we'll look back and reflect on the things that we've achieved and done, right? The
Sure,
journey
sir.
is continuous. As much as we can help our audiences
Hmm.
land a pathway that where they can also use paths taken by others as illustrations to get
Hmm.
somewhere. So that's something that we should be doing, right? And that is something that we'll do in the future as well. Uh, Thank you very much, Shreyash, for joining me today
Sure.
and spending time for this. Lovely having you here, and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for actually calling me here. And congratulations again for making a comeback, I
Yeah,
will say.
we're
And all the
coming.
best to you too.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.